Hello, today we are starting with the MDS. MDS, as the name suggests, it is a defective myeloid synthesis. So here there is a defective myeloid synthesis is there, and it is a pre-leukemic condition because it is characterized by the less than, here the blast percentage is less than 20%. Now it is a clonal hematopoietic stem cell disorder and characterized by these four things. Number 1, cytopenia. Number 2, dysplasia. Number 3, ineffective hematopoiesis is there. And number 4 is cellular marrow. You have to remember these two things very by heart. There is a cytopenia and dysplasia, and because of the cytopenia, bone marrow is trying to produce the cells, so there is a hematopoiesis is there, but there is an ineffective hematopoiesis is there. So whatever the cells are going to produce by the bone marrow, they are useless. So the bone marrow is cellular marrow. Bone marrow is cellular, but this is full of the useless cell. Now it is characterized by, or the threshold of the cytopenia is hemoglobin less than 10 gram per deciliter. ANC, that is absolute neutrophil count, is less than 1800 per microliter, and the platelet count is less than 1 lakh per microliter. So these are the threshold of the cytopenia, and likewise because of these hematological parameter, the symptoms are accordingly. Because of the less decreased hemoglobin, patient will present with the anemia. Because of the neutropenia, the patient will present with the infection, and because of the low platelet count, patient will present with the bleeding. So these hematological parameter will correlate with the clinical feature. Sometimes the autoimmune abnormality may complicate this symptom. The other thing is type. There are 2 to 3 type of the MDS, like primary MDS, or we can say it de novo MDS. Then secondary MDS is there. Secondary MDS is after taking alkylating agent or because of the exposure to the benzene and the therapy related. When the patient is taking therapy for some leukemia or lymphoma, and secondarily he developed the MDS, and some genetic association or is there, like hereditary diseases like Fanconi's anemia or neurofibromatosis. So these are the types of the MDS. Now classifications are based on the number of the blast, percentage of the blast, then how many cell series are going to dysplastic or cytopenic. So the classification is on the basis of the percentage of the blast, cytopenia, dysplasia, and the ring sideroblast, and the cytogenetic abnormality. Cytogenetic abnormality is involving in the is the parameter of the WHO classification. Now classification are 2 types: FAB classification and WHO classification. According to the FAB classification, refractory anemia, then refractory anemia with ring sideroblast, then refractory anemia with excess blast 1 and excess blast 2, then chronic myelomonocytic leukemia and AML. Now this is ring sideroblast. To be involved ring sideroblast, there should be more than 15% of the ring sideroblast should be there. Or to classify any series as a dysplastic, if we are using the dysplastic lineage, especially in the case of the WHO, to be classify any lineage as a dysplastic lineage, more than 10% of that lineage should be dysplastic. More than 10% of the cell should be dysplastic, then only we will call that this is dysplastic lineage. Now these subcategories is no more there, because chronic myelomonocytic leukemia has been placed into the myelodysplastic syndrome /MPN, myeloproliferative, and this has been placed into the acute leukemia because the percentage of the blast here is more than 30%. Now coming to the WHO classification. WHO classification involving the how many lineages are going. By seeing it, we can directly know कि yes, single lineage dysplasia is there, refractory anemia with single lineage dysplasia, multi-lineage dysplasia. here the one lineage is going to dysplastic, here more than two lineages are going to be dysplastic, then ring sideroblast, SLD or MLD, that is multilineage dysplasia with ring sideroblast, or the single lineage dysplasia with the ring sideroblast. Here also the criteria to be classified as a ring sideroblast is more than 15%. And the one important abnormality, that is SF3B1, if this gene mutation is there, then even the ring sideroblast are 5%, then only we will place this category into the ring sideroblast. The other is deletion 5q, MDS with the deletion 5q. This subcategory has got good prognosis because it is associated with the thrombocytosis. Now other is MDS unclassified and childhood related MDS, childhood and the familiar MDS. So these are the classification part. To the diagnosis, for diagnosis you have to carefully take the history, because if the patient is taking some medication or any prior exposure of particular thing, or if patient is alcoholic or megaloblastic anemia is there, then these are the mimickers of the megaloblastic anemia, so you have to keep this mimicker in mind. So carefully take the history. Then coming to the CBC, by CBC we know all the parameters, ki what is the is there anemia, neutropenia or thrombocytopenia is there or not. And then PBF, by PBF we see the morphology of the cell, is there any dysplasia is there or not. Then coming to the bone marrow, where the bone marrow we see the precursor of that all lineages, so granulocytic lineage, erythroid lineage, and especially we see the ring sideroblast in the bone marrow. Then coming to the bone marrow biopsy, here in the bone marrow biopsy we see any abnormal localization, ALIP, that is abnormal localization of the precursor, because in the biopsy we see the topography and what is the normal location of the particular lineage, is there any abnormal localization is there and not, or finally immunophenotyping and cytogenetic. So these are the immunophenotyping and cytogenetics. So these are the modalities for the diagnosis. Now coming to the PBFs in more detail, or bone marrow aspiration. Here simultaneously I am taking both the thing here, PBF and the bone marrow aspiration. In PBF, what is going in the RBC series may be normocytic, normochromic, or macrocytic or microcytic. Here the important thing is macrocytic. Why this is macrocytic? Because in MDS there is a maturation defect, so there is no more maturation is going to take place. So more the cells are immature, the cells become larger in the size. And here I tell you there is maturation defect is there, cells are not going to mature, so they become immature. And if the cells will remain immature, then they are the larger in the size. The same will apply on the granulocytic series also. That's why your immature cells are more. The other thing is the RBC inclusions like Howell-Jovel bodies, basophilic stippling. So these things are there. And what is happening in the bone marrow aspirate? In the bone marrow aspirate, what is going there is about the erythroid series. So in the erythroid series, the binucleation or nuclear budding may be there, multinucleation may be there. So these are the nuclear abnormalities in the case of the granulocytic RBC series. Now coming to the WBC series. In the WBC, it is associated in the WBC we know mainly neutropenia is there, and it affects all the lineages, but more typically the neutrophilic series. So here the important thing is pseudopelgar Hute anomaly. Pseudopelgar Hute anomaly is there in the neutrophil. What is it? It is spectacle shaped nuclei. We can use pince-nez abnormality. This is French word, and that means pressing the nose. So you have to remember the word pseudo is very important, because here we acquired this condition because of the MDS. So this is pseudopelgar Hute anomaly is there. Other abnormality may be hypersegmentation, hypolobation, hyperlobulation. So these are the abnormality in the case of the WBC. What are the abnormality in the granulocytic series in the bone marrow? They may be hypolobulated, hyperlobulated, or the hypergranulation or hypogranulation, or both type of the granule in the same lineage. The other important word is pseudochidiac Higashi. So these are the granules seen in the cytoplasm of the precursor granulocytic series. So other thing is now coming to the platelet. What is happening in the platelet? So platelet may be, giant platelet may be seen in the PBF, or sometimes micro megakaryocytes are released in the periphery, or sometimes hypogranular platelet can be seen. So giant platelet, hypogranular platelet are seen in the PBF. What is happening in the megakaryocytic? Specifically word pawn ball appearance. This is means multilobated nuclei of the megakaryocyte, and they are not united, but sometimes they may be united. Multilobularity may be there. So they are dysplastic lineage. Basically they are the dysplastic lineage. So this was all about the bone marrow and the peripheral blood. Now coming to the bone marrow biopsy, I previously told you abnormal localization of the precursor are seen by the bone marrow biopsy, because the blasts are seen around the trabeculae. And in the case of the abnormal localization, they shifted from trabecular location to the central part of the marrow, and then they can be better visualized by the CD34 staining. Now coming to the immunophenotyping cytogenetic analysis, we do what are the cytogenetic abnormality. These are 5q deletion, monosomy of 5, monosomy 7, and the trisomy 8. Specifically, if there is a deletion of the 5q is there, it is associated with the good prognosis. So that was all, and you have to keep in mind what is treatment of the MDS. Treatment of the MDS is allogenic bone marrow transplantation only, and other we give the supportive treatment only. So thank you very much.